probably is Eid, if I'm not mistaken. And then we have the general election on the 28th of April. So we have a lot of stuff happening, people. And time and tide waits on no one. Just though it's Friday, another week will be over. So we started saying one time, we got have plenty things to talk. I want to know if all the young and moving on. Hi, Roxanne. I miss you too, sweetie. Hi, Margaret. Hi, Masifet. Hi, Shireen, Christopher, Sarah, and all those who will join us as we go along. So, we have a program here that we try to stick to, yeah? I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of my God and my country. I'll honor my parents, my teachers, my leaders, my elders, and those in authority. I'll be clean and honest in all my thoughts, my words, and my deeds. And I'll strive in everything I do to work together with my fellow men of every creed and race for the greater happiness of all and the honor and glory of my country, Trinidad and Tobago, that I love. I'm proud to be born in the Twin Islands of Trinidad and Tobago, but Trinidad. I and other babies would have been born in 1965. That's the last year that the Tanapuna General Hospital would have functioned at all. So we did have a Tanapuna General Hospital. And for persons who didn't know, the last two numbers of your ID card is the number of your birth for that month. Yeah. So people, I ain't seen this nowhere really, The Trinidad and Tobago senior men's football team, where they coach Dwight York. All you know is Dwight York, Manchester United, and all the other clubs, international. We win 4-0, Cuba, in Trinidad. I mean, here no big seller talk and no seller thing, nothing at all. But if they did lose, everybody would have to come down, Dwight York and the balls and whatever. But they win Cuba and they win 2-1. Come Trinidad 4-0, and you ain't hear no set at talk about this thing at all. I search all over until I get a story. I want to say congratulations. Congratulations to our men's senior team. I think that makes them, they are qualified now for the CONCACAF Gold Cup. No, just not. Let me see what they Yes, they advanced to the Gold Cup. And we ain't hear nothing, boy. God, the dread in this place, boy. I want to congratulate Coach Dwight York and his team. I think Coach Latapy is also there. All the management, all the persons who would be moving with the team, the nutritionist and the dietitian. I'm sure they have all that. I'm sure they have a psychologist. They have the physiotherapist. They have everything. And the players themselves for that beautiful victory that was celebrated by our former Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, and our present Prime Minister, Minister Stuart Young, and other persons who would have went to see them. So let me see what it says here. This was in the Guardian 19 hours ago. Trinidad and Tobago qualified for the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup at a canter beating Cuba 4-0 at the Otto Boland Stadium in Balmain, Cuba on Tuesday. That was last night. It caused a bit of celebration. We haven't done the double over Cuba for quite some time. This thing keep only coming over what I'm reading. York said after the victory, going forward now we have qualified for a major tournament like the Gold Cup. We have a smaller matter to deal with, St. Kitts and Nevis, on the 6th of June and Costa Rica on the 10th. We have some work to do. York's second competitive outing began with the senior national men in a pretty solid position. Trinidad and Tobago first win in Cuba in 17 years, courtesy of maiden goals from Isaiah Lee and Stefan Yates, saw the Soca Warriors return to the home of football with a 2-1 advantage and needing just a draw to advance to the 18 CONCACAF Gold Cup. Before the match, York said his staff did their best to keep the team focused on the next 90 minutes. The performance was evidence his group got a message. The last time the teams met in Trinidad and Tobago, the home side brushed the Cubans aside 3-1 to maintain their CONCACAF National League A status. This time around will prove a more comprehensive showing. Just one change in his lineup, Kelvin Molino in with the armband for Yates. York sought a controlled, aggressive performance from his squad. Their job was made that much easier just 3 minutes into the second leg. Romario Torres earned a straight red card for a stood-up tackle on Andre Rampasad in full view of Mexican referee Cesar Ramos. From a tactical point of view, we felt that if we became resilient and had to beat, these players would become desperate. York pointed out in the post-match. The boon of an early red card gives them more options. Tactically, when a team goes down to 10 men, we tend to make the field really big. Despite moments when the team fell short of that part of the plan, he understood. We are a work in progress, York said. Some of these players have only been here 10 days. It's not going to be perfect, but we will continue to build. York Soca Warriors had a good look in soon after, but Alvin Jones saw his effort from an indirect free kick saved. Breakthrough came in the 22nd minute, just like in Santiago. Therese Spicer proved the catalyst. The 2024 MLS Super Draft #1 pick provided the second assist of the tie, finding Lee with a low center from his second goal of the home and away fixture. Lee got his third international goal in the 37th, a gift really, as Cuban captain Yosel Piedra gave it away under pressure and he scored into an open net 2-0 at the end, or 2-0 at the half. In the second half, the onslaught continued almost unabated. Molino benefited from Spicer's industry, following up a block shot after the Toronto FC player weaved his way through 3 players to tap in the third and his 24th international goal in the 51st. Shortly after that, with space opening up around the area, Daniel Phillips saw a dive from a distance, crashed out of the crossbar as Cuba held on for dear life. The younger senior men, Real Gill, Nathaniel James, and Diante Gilbert, were introduced at different intervals in the second half and brought an infusion of energy as the game went on. However, the trio couldn't make the best of a plethora of half chances. That was until the 84th, when James slotted a brilliant through pass from Daniel Phillips to make it 4-0. The 6-1 aggregate win was a statement from a young team and a relatively young head coach. For his part, York said he was pleased with his team's application to the task, keeping the clean sheet and scoring and winning with relative ease. He pointed to sloppiness in possessions as one of the key areas to address on the training pitch, but chose not to be too critical in the afterglow of a solid showing. York again renewed his call for a national movement behind the team. I think support is crucial for us in terms of getting there, York added. Football is the #1 sport in the world, and we want TNT footballers to be in the #1 sport in this country, and that is part of my job. We can't do it on our own. Tremendous turnout tonight, long way Long may it continue. Trinidad and Tobago progression to the 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup is the first major success of Dwight York era and served as a reintroduction to the latest 2006 World Cup hero to hold the reins of the senior men national team in pursuit of a return to the quadrennial. Yesterday results: TNT 4, Isaiah lead in the 22nd and 37th, Calvin Molino in the 51st, and Nathaniel James in the 84th versus Cuban nil. So there I had to read the whole thing and give them bigger because like nobody ain't want to big them up. And I mean like that. Me like that. We had to come out against TNT. We want a goal, you have to follow them all over and get them that support. And of course, with our international coach. He is international. Coach and footballer, Dwight York, and his whole team. So let me continues. Let me just give a little history here. I like to give a little history. I didn't even check to see how long it is, but we would move to suit it. It is important that we understand our history so we could take count of where we are and to see how we would have done and to look at those.
Labour and workers meet again to mark the 20th anniversary of the 1937 riots at the famous Charlie King corner in Faizabad. After his jump attempting to escape incensed workers, King, a policeman, was burned to death. To labour militant for its rights, attention was also given. This year, government moved swiftly in labour legislation and introduced the Industrial Stabilization Act, remembering a worker who fell. And Uriah Buzz Butler, 1937's dynamic labour leader.
Like an evening corner. Short has the watch the them tonight.
These were the workers who marched 50 miles into Port of Spain in 1937 to improve the lot of labour.
Before the rising sun. Like an ever-rolling stream.
And Butler, the old fighter, now honoured as a patriot and granted a pension by government. The men and women of Trinidad and Tobago who contributed to the vibrant development of the trade union movement.
Forgotten as a dreamer.
The spot where Le Bray Charles died. With the labour sector active and alert, the Industrial Stabilization Act, with an industrial court, provides the guidance and framework for the development of trade unionism. So to the world,
it was important I played that. If you all hear the swanky sing me back, you could see the tie between the labor movement at that time, because Uriah Buzz Butler was from Grenada. He was a preacher, and he's credited for being a big part of the spiritual Baptist liberation faith. And if you hear the song, they're not singing "We Shall Overcome." Solidarity. They're not singing "Solidarity Forever." It's a lot of I think they call it swankies that the Baptists would sing, and that was a part of the whole thing. You saw the procession, you saw how it was a togetherness, it was an understanding that they're fighting for a cause, a labor cause, and the spirituality was a part of that. So that was in tribute of the spiritual Baptists and their faith, in remembrance on how they started. It's a sad thing to see where the labor movement has reached now, where union leaders, some of them are more interested in politics rather than the interests of the workers, and they are doing it blatantly. I speak, again, I can speak with authority and the PSA, Public Services Association, and Drew could have been the first president to merge politics and PSA while leaving members undone. And he had his upholders with him, Leroy Batiste, and this one who's sitting there now, the consummate. Well, she's past consummate dons, Felicia Thomas, and what they're doing. I saw a circular going around with something like they want to interfere with the Constitution and like they ain't informing like sections and probably general. I don't know what it is, but here I want to tell PSA members, and some ain't going to like what I'm going to say. Or that opportunity March the 25th to vote for a team, an executive of 13 persons who would have taken this union back for workers, back for labor, out of politics. That's Nixon Kalinda and his team, PSA United Sentinels. Or they choose not to come out and vote and allow a certain grouping of people to vote. Excuse me, now we have Felicia Thomas in there. So I'm going to say this and I'm going to find favor. Or they have to deal with that. Take it, bend over and take it without grease. And remember, the law has been upheld so you could get 25 years for that. Or they have a choice, drop the hell out of PSA. Don't allow Felicia Thomas and them to be taking all your $100. You're not getting proper representation. They're doing what they want. You can't have meetings in the building. You don't have access to the building. You get nothing for your $100. Drop the hell out. Or stay there and take it straight without grease. And as I said before, the law has been upheld so you could get 25 years. So let me continue. So they always asked what this PNM government has done for the young people, and we hear a lot of conversation about the young people, which is true because they are the future. And the UNC is filling space in some of them head because they were born in a time when they met everything, so they probably feel the 21-year-old and the 18-year-old, the 19-year-old, the 10-year-old, 15-year-old, they're born in a time where they come and meet everything and not understanding how the things they come and meet, how they came about it, how the grandmother does get she old age grant at 65, how the father or the brother or the cousin or the whatever it is does get an NIS when they finish from retired 60 from the public service, how they does get a pension, how they does get a gratuity, the road works, the highways, the byways, all those buildings that you see, all the connections that we have with different countries, the trade that we develop, all the manufacturing sector, point leases, all that. They probably think it just happened just like that and don't understand. It wasn't UNC, it wasn't NAR. It was the People's National Movement who put all those things in place that all them other government who just get a 5-year tush, just come and enjoy and abuse and then leave everything in shambles. So I think them young ones and them don't understand GATE, going to school free medicine, free hospital care. They think that is, it just poof and it happens. Not understanding it's a privilege because we are one of the few countries, if not the only country, will have free medical care. You don't have to show your insurance as you go. People who working, it's just health surcharge. That can hold up the system. So you know it's government would be supplementing that, and it's still current and costing because you can't find a bed. Instead of saying we live healthy so we don't have to go hospital, you're costing because you can't find a bed. Because like you're more comfortable going lie down in a hospital bed than being home healthy. But the point I'm making is always make you feel, or the young ones feel, as though this PNM government has done nothing when PNM is the government that laid the foundation, build everything that all of them enjoy. And that the PNH have nothing for the youths and that kind of thing. So I'm saying that this was offered by the People's National Movement government.
Are you interested in building a career in the petroleum or natural gas sectors? The government of Trinidad and Tobago is offering 10 scholarships for local and international tertiary studies in a range of fields, ranging from petrochemicals to geology and environmental studies. Scholarships are available for candidates at both the undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Applicants must be citizens of Trinidad and Tobago between the ages of 18 and 55, and the course for study must be recognized by ACTT. Applications close June 28, 2024. Apply at scholarships.moe.gov.tt.
Right? That was offering scholarship in the energy sector, 18 to 55, along with all the programs that are being offered in the Ministry of Youth Development National Services. It's there. The same way they could go on their phone and play games and go on TikTok and all other manners of things. I don't know why some of them don't go onto Facebook. Go into the ministries. Most of the ministries have their Facebook pages and see what's being offered. And then I was trying to understand why those who would have benefited from the programs, why they don't come back and say anything. So other young people will say, hey, they really did it and true, and they get through. Why you are not coming back, some of you, to say how you got through, how successful it was and all that. So other young people will be able to link it and be real to them. You don't hear them coming back. Few just come back. When more come back and talk, because 100 of you all just get scholarship, 100 of you all went through programs, being successful, all from the Ministry of Development National Services and other areas. You don't say anything, and then the young people just there and come and them ning, 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 as Dr. Rowley said, in the airs, and that is it. I'm seeing a lot of young people doing TikToks and saying ill things over the PNM. No. My thing is, you don't have to like the PNM, you don't have to like the UNC. I don't like no political party. You have your choice as a freedom of choice, and nothing is wrong with that. However, I feel if you're going to talk on these matters, at least you must have your facts. You must have the information, because then the people who know, you sound very foolish. And if I'm asking you all getting paid to do that, it is, when you look at the people doing it, is mostly people of African descent. So if you're getting paid, I'm not saying you're getting paid, to talk on issues that you don't have understanding of, then you look stupid to people, and then they will continue to say African people gullible and they're stupid, and they could get them for chubby and a doubles. I'm just saying. But you could criticize the government if you want, that's your choice, but at least have the information and stop speaking about things that you don't know, and stop speaking from a point of view that because I personally didn't get something, because they didn't give me something personally, that are costing everybody. Because I used to get this amount of money and they fire me from there, I ain't getting it again, so now I'm going to talk it out. I'm going to say this, and to me, you see that shatters your credibility. Because if you did get in, all the thing you find wrong now, you would have keep your ass quiet. Right? So let me continue. But this is your revelation. They come, they have to come out, because you see, these things are happening. There's an alignment happening. People can't stop that. It have a spiritual component in this thing. But who have ears to hear will hear, and who have eyes to see will see. Who can speak will speak. So I'll continue. So this is another. It's a short difference, because I'll tell you why. We have a serious decision to make on April the 20th. This is not no games. This is the future of this country going forward, in a time when we have all kind of different things happening worldwide. And you have to have somebody who have the experience, the ability, the know-how to navigate us through that space. Dr. Rowley did his part, and now we have to go to this new digitized society we come into, with what they call them, the Gen Z and Gen this, and all the names they have for young people. When we were young, it was just young people. But they have all kind of different things now. They think differently, they do things differently. They're more on the internet, so they're more involved in the digitization of things, right? So this was Prime Minister Young, before he became Prime Minister Young and was the Minister of Energy, speaking to the young people.
So my first message to you today, because you are the young people, we're on the brink of something that is going to take place in Trinidad and Tobago, that is going to carry us forward and build a momentum for your future.
Don't let anybody restrain your thoughts. Don't let anybody restrain your vision. You're at a point in life now where you're going to take decisions and steps that are going to formulate where you end up. The world changes rapidly, so don't constrain your minds. But one thing be sure about, very soon you will be standing where I am. Very soon it will be you taking our country forward. Just do what is right, and we in the government are looking forward to you working with us and participating with us and getting excited about Project Trinidad and Tobago, because that's what it is. It is Project Trinidad and Tobago, and you have a critical and important role to play.
Right? Again, it's about the young persons, the young people, who are the ones that are to be trained now so that they can take part in the leadership of our country in one way or the other. Yeah? It's a new age, a new dawn. It's not that you train all the old, but there has to be a mixture, because there has to be a leap, but there must be a breaching of the gap so that it's not too wide apart. And the young persons, the young people want to be heard. And the Prime Minister Stuart Young, apparently they have generated to him because they see in themselves, because of the age difference between other political leaders or other prime ministers. You're accustomed to seeing a prime minister in the late 60s and 70s. Now you're seeing somebody in the very early 50s, I think 21, who have that energy, the stamina, and understands the now, understand the times that we're in, understand and able to speak to the young ones, technology and all that, and that is what they want. Yeah. So I'm also saying that Prime Minister Young would have met with the bankers, and the bankers were very receptive of the conversation, and it had to do with Forex and things of that nature. I'm not a banker, so I'll just read what would have happened. Hi Ricardo, hi Melka, hi Daniel. So this was 19 hours ago. Again, it would be 19 by now. So Prime Minister, bankers receptive of talks on Forex and fees. This, as I say in The Guardian, as Trinidad and Tobago faces ongoing foreign exchange shortages, Prime Minister Stuart Young revealed that bankers have been receptive to discussions on foreign exchange accessibility and solutions to increasing bank fees. His comments came following a meeting with commercial banks leaders and central bank governor Dr. Alvin Hilaire at the office of the Prime Minister on yesterday. I don't know how to put on yesterday. Speaking to reporters after visiting friends and relatives at the Debe Islamic Association Masjid, where he broke fast with the Jamaat on Tuesday evening, Young expressed satisfaction with ongoing talks. This afternoon, I had a meeting with the central bank as well as the Bankers Association and the heads and chairmen of various banks. I expressed my sentiments and thoughts on what we need to do to help the average citizen, particularly concerning accessibility to foreign exchange, which is not a huge amount for many average citizens. He added, my main concern was to express my thoughts and tell them we must start looking at solutions. Describing the meeting as productive, Prime Minister Young said, we had some fruitful conversations. I asked them to engage with the Minister of Finance, Vishnudan Paul, and I will meet with them again 2 Wednesdays from now. Prime Minister Young said that during the meeting, he also raised concerns about increasing bank charges. I raised the issue of bank charges and service fees because, as a customer of the bank, I needed some understanding of what we can do as a government to assist. So we are in discussions with the banks to address that. These charges that affect all citizens who use the bank. He added, they were very receptive. It was a good meeting. Prime Minister Young said he had reviewed reports from various groups before the meeting. I read some papers from the central bank before, as well as the concerns from the business chambers. I started off by telling them I was focused on the average citizen and on what we can do to help. Without giving details, he said, an innovative solution came up. one that I saw as viable. I went to the Minister of Finance and asked him to hold the next meetings and everyone will report back in a few days, he said. Addressing leadership concerns within the PNM. Okay, so we ain't going down there. I wanted to speak about the banking sector. Those are the things I will pick up as I go along. So that's our Prime Minister there, being innovative, thinking outside the box and doing things. And he always says for the average person, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah? The voters, the thinkers, the young ones. I'm also seeing that the Ministry of Works and Transport, hi Roy, and what is happening there? Again, they say nothing is happening and roads are deteriorating and all that. And some fail to remember that what would have slowed down the road works in terms of fixing the roads and all that, COVID-19. All monies had to be directed there to save people's lives, to pay public officers while they were home, was only the emergency workers out, to get all those food hampers and baskets and grants and all that as a part of the whole um, process while we went through COVID-19. It needed money. You couldn't study to fix no roads. So the roads that were already in a state deteriorated even more during COVID-19 and even after COVID-19, where we tried to regroup and recover. So it's happening now, but again, people love to complain and they will continue to do that, but they never have a solution. So this is, it says here in CNC3, Sinanan, meaning Minister of Works and Transport, Senator or Minister Sinanan. Oh gosh. This thing just come up. I have to verify all this G's and ages. All that thing come up and I had to say whether it's a robot and okay. So it says here, Works and Transport Minister Rohan Sinanan welcomed the relief the highways expansion in Shogunas has brought to commuters. Speaking with the media on Tuesday, during his site visit, Sinanan assured the additional upgrades will further ease traffic congestion, as said as Minister Sinanan. The next phase will extend from Chase Village to Freeport, aiming to complete 3 lanes to San Fernando. Minister Sinanan also announced that all pedestrian walkovers across Trinidad and Tobago will be upgraded with new lighting for safety. The next set of traffic alleviation measures is scheduled for this year. PO, that is Program for the Upgrade of Road Efficiency, Director Hayden Phillips outlined a 5-phase plan, noting that the first phase at Sugrim Trace has already improved traffic flow. The next major step involves constructing a roundabout at Mulchan Suchan Road to redirect vehicles off the overpass. That is where Jack say, Pande say Jack say, Kamala for long John Gandhi statue. Okay. The government is in the process of acquiring the necessary land for this development. Senator Richie Sukai, Minister in the Ministry of Works, highlighted the positive impact on Shogunas East and Shogunas West. Our focus is on sustainable solutions that will bring long-term traffic relief, he said. Minister Sinanan confirmed additional measures to reduce traffic in Shogunas. Philip explained that the first phase involved widening the roadway at Sugrim Trace and building a roundabout near the Ministry of Agriculture and the Wali Negar site. Another roundabout will be constructed at Endeavour Road, allowing northbound motorists to enter the highway without using the overpass. The project had a proper traffic study and was on the drawing board for a while. The designs are completed and land acquisition is in progress, said Philip. So that is upgrades happening, but they will still say nothing is happening, but all they know the truth, so tell people the truth. So I continues. I'm seeing also, hi Sandra, hi Monica. I'm seeing here that some TNT young swimmers, we have to talk the good things to them. You come to only Bacchanal and Kuchu. But sometimes we have to let people know that this country is more than Bacchanal and Kuchu. is actually a developing society. And we have people and citizens doing marvelous things. The People's National Movement also doing marvelous things that sometimes people don't talk about. Because the PNM have a history of just doing the work, getting it done, not about boasting about what it does do. The UNC now does boast about what they don't do, and everybody feel they just do plenty. So you win some, you lose some. So in The Guardian, 22 hours ago, Blackman Wilson began NCAA championship. Who do I speak about? TNT swimmers and former world junior 15-meter freestyle champion Nicole Blackman is among 10 members of the University of Tennessee swimming team who will compete in the 2025 NCAA Men's Swimming and Diving Championship, which splashes off today and will run until Saturday in Federal Way, Washington. Last year, Vols took 6 at NCCA marking. In total, 6 different individuals are projected to score, including 3 in multiple events. So our Nkosi is a part of Tennessee swim team, and Zachary. People stay with me. It seemed to be today is the day they're going to be playing the ass with my life. Yeah. And this wrongs, I think I have no time for no sweet talk and nice talk. I wouldn't use obscene, but I'll use some kind of robust language. All they could do, all they want, the truth will still have to come out. If all they want to lie and feel the lie will last, truth will conquer that. So interfere with my life, hack the life and all kind of things. My peeps will stay with me and we'll continue, and I'll sit down and wait till they come back and continue, and they can watch it after. So that's our teen swimmers from Trinidad and their universities taking part in some championships abroad. I'm also seeing that give me a moment. What do you think? I'll get thing. Oh God, I didn't know that song. What do you think in truth, boy? Okay, let me go straight to where I got it from in the first place. Let me see if I have it here. Give me un momento, por favor. I think that will know in Spanish. You know. So, I'm seeing here TTFA. Hi, Hadara. I know that Roxanne always staying with me. I love all the bad, you know. Them ain't really know the kind of peeps I have, you know. So this was 4 hours ago in the news. Of course, it's not 4 hours now. It says here, the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, TTFA, has received a boost amidst the Soca Warriors FIFA 2026 World Cup qualifying campaign, as the National Gas Company has committed $3 million to the local football body for a 2-year period. At least the money ain't taken to buy roti and all kind of thing and all that is taken to be used to help our own citizens to develop. And this happened to be in sports. The sponsorship arrangement, which was initiated on March 25th during the Soca Warriors 2025 CONCACAF Gold Cup preliminary playoff against Cuba at the Otobolan Stadium. Cuba will cover 2025 and 2026. A March 26 TTFA release said the check handover from NGC acting president Edmund Subrayan and chairman Dr. Joseph Ishmael Khan provided a fitting context for a partnership that is ultimately aimed at resourcing and strengthening the national football team. With this sponsorship, the TTFA said the NGC is committed. I nearly burst my foot at a boulder, yes. The NGC is committed. Let me drink some water. The NGC is committed. Where I reach? To the support of Trinidad and Tobago World Cup campaign, funding of players, preparation, international training camps, friendly matches, and specialized coaching, support of the men's national teams, local training camps, including the provision of world-class facilities, technical staff, and match simulations, support of team logistics to compete successfully in qualifiers and tournaments, development of players who embody national pride and inspire communities, energizing the TT Premier Football League, and the creation of avenues for community engagement through the TTPFL and the fostering social unity and youth empowerment. Khan said NGC wanted to play its part in helping the team realize a World Cup dream. Sports is one of the long-standing pillars of NGC's extensive corporate social responsibility program because of the clear value it adds to society. Khan said football is one of those sports. Warriors team blanked Cuba 4-0 in the second leg of their playoff tie to book their spot in the Gold Cup with a 6-1 aggregate victory. TNT will resume their qualifying campaign for the 2026 World Cup when they host St. Kitts Nevis on June the 6th. 4 days later, TNT will face a tricky encounter when they play Group B favorites Cuba away from home. I have all confidence that they will bring it home and we go forward from there. This is how, again, they say the PNM isn't doing anything. And again, if you were to go on Facebook anywhere, you would see what they're doing. And as I said, the PNM don't show off. Probably they need to start to show off a little bit, I don't know. Because the things are here. And people still saying it have nothing. And again, I have to ask if it has to do with the fact that people didn't get what they want, and because they didn't get what they want personally, they mean they must pull along everything. They must pull along everything, and nobody else must benefit because they're benefiting again. We'll see. So this is what, again, I'm showing what would have happened in the energy sector.
So here we are today, culmination of yet another project. Proud today of Tough Hope, our local fabricator that is world class. We're here for the pre-load out of the Mento platform. So if you look at this project, it's 99.9% local. It's all local. So we've done two things, created an opportunity for local talent, and we've also been able to keep a sustainable operation, which is key.
So the local talent in Trinidad is honestly world class. Now, I have worked for BP for over 40 years. I've worked all over the world, so I've seen some very experienced areas. But the people here are of absolutely an equal quality to the best I've seen anywhere else. So I think it all can be done here.
These are the things we've been working on. These are the things we've been working on since 2016. Seeing it all come together, this will boost our production. This has provided over 400 jobs for the local community here in Lovely. And that was the government working, negotiating, asking the people at BP and EOG globally to support Trinidad local content. content, support tough food. So here we've done it once again. This is your government working for you, Trinidad and Tobago, making it happen. Yet another successfully delivered project.
Well, cannot speak about they will create jobs and jobs. This is real jobs being created. And I see somebody put something about Roger Alexander and Minister Terence Yal Singh questioning that. I don't know why people are surprised, you know. You remember Herbert Volney, deceased. He was sitting on the bench today, and the next day he was on a UNC platform with some rubber snake in his hand. My question does be to the people who join in the UNC. Because I know what the UNC give, so I'm not surprised by nothing the UNC do. My concern does be the people who want to join the UNC. What is the character that will make them want to go there? So those are the persons I watch out. But the UNC, I'm not surprised at nothing they do because that's just who they are. That's how they roll. Is it people who want to link themselves with them and associate with them? Are we to think they're just like them? They've always been like them. They think like them. They just do the things they do. I don't know. I'm just asking. So Marco is his name? Rubio. I think he's the American head of. Let me get his proper title. Let me get Rubio's proper title and name and stuff. So 10 hours ago, CNC3 News, again, it's not 10 hours ago. Well, Sarah, if it is, he needs to come and say something. Unless he like excitement, I don't know, or he in here, I don't know. So it says in the Guardian, U.S. deeply committed to Trinidad and Tobago gas future. The U.S. Department of State has confirmed that Secretary of State Marco Rubio will discuss a commitment to developing Trinidad and Tobago gas production for Caribbean energy security during discussions with CARICOM leaders in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica today. So he has reached, last time I heard he had landed, so probably meetings still going on, or probably it would have been finished, I'm not sure. However, Rubio will tell Caribbean leaders that the U.S. will not support any further regional dependency on Venezuela. The confirmation came during a U.S. State Department briefing in Washington, D.C. yesterday, ahead of Rubio's trip to the region, which will also include visits to Guyana and Suriname. The position laid out by U.S. Special Envoy for Latin America, Mauricio Claver Caron, has raised more questions on whether the Dragon gas agreement between Venezuela and TNT, supported by a U.S. license and limited sanctions waivers, will materialize. Claver Caron said the U.S. is deeply committed to working with Trinidad and Tobago on gas issue, but it did not make any pronouncement on the Dragon gas matter. With Trinidad, which has been an energy leader in the region, obviously it is going through its own development as it seeks to revitalize its natural gas opportunities, and is going through that modernization as some of the older fields and opportunities, they are dried up and they're looking for new ones. They're along with a lot of the challenges posed with Venezuela. We are deeply committed to working with Trinidad to figuring out how to re-energize those natural gas opportunities and ensure that its economy continues to move forward despite the challenges presented with Venezuela and otherwise. Prime Minister Stuart Young, who has led the Dragon gas talks in his capacity of Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, will attend today's meeting and, according to the State Department, is one of the leaders that Secretary Rubio intends to have bilateral talks with. Yesterday, while speaking outside the Belmont Secondary School in Port of Spain, Prime Minister Young told reporters he intends to make the most compelling argument for Trinidad and Tobago's interests. I believe in Trinidad and Tobago, and I know what are the best arguments for us to put forward, Young says, Prime Minister Young. He continued, I have not been in contact since the specific comment that you are referring to from Secretary of State Rubio. There's also been some dialogue for some statement from the President's office in the United States, President Trump. These are things that we monitor carefully and closely, and I remain in contact with the Venezuelan government managing it. However, Claver Caron has made it clear the U.S. does not see Venezuela having any major role in the future of the region's energy security. He noted that Secretary Rubio's decision to also visit Guyana and Suriname is to help those nations become key energy suppliers to the Caribbean. Together with Guyana and Suriname, and obviously the history of Trinidad with natural gas, this is an opportunity that countries from the CARICOM community from the regions are going to be able to support each other to be able to create an energy security framework which has already changed the geopolitics of the region, he said. And it goes on and on a little more, and we will hear the outcome of that when Prime Minister Young returns and holds a press conference tomorrow was there. So we pray for the best and know that he would do his best to make sure that we are well represented and that the stakeholders who are the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, that we would get the best deal ever. So Fali is saying, because remember when Dr. Rowley would have recommissioned or commissioned the Tobago Airport, Anna Robinson Airport, it is not opened, but commissioned, he would have told the Tobago population, Trinidad and Tobago, that Sanders is willing to come back again. And he would have called out Fali and Duke to sit down with the THA people and the other people and work on something. But because Fali has to appease a crowd and get on like a glad man, because people say he's a jellyfish. I think Duke, they say he's a jellyfish. So like he does have to perform. And they had a TTP, whoever the anchor, the rusty anchor, had the special convention. So he had to perform for them, to make it look like he's a man. Yeah? He's a man. So he started to hype up himself, talking about when they come, when Sandal come, they must take major role in the talk. That's what Dr. really tell all you, sit down and talk with them. You have to reiterate that to show you a little imps. And that's called it never see come see. Somebody told me a long time back in the day when the Americans still had the base and all that. People used to bring me up for calling them never see come see. That was the cuss word. No, we never, the person told me, I go by the history, he told me, never really cussing Trinidad, so when somebody call you and never see come see, they gotta take it to court for that, First, that word had meaning. Now it's just another word we don't tell you MC and that. But a long time was never see come see. So I using that. So this was in the Guardian. Fali say he's open to talk to Sandal, but THA must take lead. Duh. Chief Secretary Fali Augustin says the island remains open to negotiations with Sandals or any other major hotel brand, but only if they meet the standards set by the people of Tobago. His comments came amidst renewed discussions about Sandal potentially investing in Tobago. During the opening of the A&R Robinson, I told you that, we said all that already. And he said Tobago, Fali saying Tobago never had a problem with Sandals or any branded hotel whatsoever. Augustine said it is unfair to suggest that Tobago rejected Sandal just for the sake of rejecting Sandal. And he said it is untrue. And I am saying it is true. All I made Tobago people reject Sandal just for the sake of rejecting Sandals because they like the PNM. Some of them. So I say it's true. Because all the lies they tell about Sandals, I read where they show the truth about all the lies that they were saying about Sandals, it was untrue. So all they put in minds as some Tobagonians not to like the Sandals and Trinidad want to order all the, and all they must have secession, and all they must have this. All they put that in the people mind in Tobago, some people mind in Tobago. Speaking of Rovanel Resort, the Storby local road, Banacor, during the Tobago People's Rusty Party, Anchor Party Special Convention, Augustine stressed that the project was turned down because it did not meet economic, environmental, or democratic standards. The MOU that was signed by the current MP for Tobago West did not meet the environmental best practice standards that we wanted. Okay, I'm going to stop here and let me see if I find this thing. Give me a minute. Please let it still be there. Please let it still be there, please. Okay, let me look here and see. Please let it still be there. Post cabinet meeting. Max. I'll get it for you. Oh Lord. How far to go for this now? Nope, nope. Nope, 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 nope. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Falling them was light red, boy, and easy just so. Let me see if it's this. Nope. Right. Setting the record straight, Sandals. I'm going over it again. 1. The cost. So they're telling you know the truth and the cost. The project was projected to cost TT 2.8 billion. Nowhere near the TT 88, the TT 8 billion figure that the naysayers have been using. That figure is equivalent to just about 5% of the annual national budget. 2, the ownership. With Sandals on board as the operator, the government of Trinidad and Tobago will retain ownership of all lands, buildings, and profits to be derived. Tax concession. Sandals was to be paid an annual management fee. Any tax concession to be enjoyed by this project were to the benefit of the people of Trinidad and Tobago as the owners. GORTT has also assured that any such exemption will be enjoyed by all hotel operators in Tobago. Fit. Sandals Resort International is the best-in-class resort operators in the region and the world. With them on board, the odds of the project's success were greatly improved and the risk well mitigated. We could not have asked for a more suitable partner. Procurement. The only document signed to date is a non-binding memorandum of agreement. The two parties never reached to the stage of acceding to a commercial agreement, and as such, any discussions about terms and conditions was premature. Environmental impact. Neither party had any intention to violate environmental law, usurp the power of the AMA, or to ignore the obligations of international treaties such as Ramsar and SAR. Much of the engagement here was premature and presupposed a strict process that has worked efficiently on a multiple of projects in TNT. In fact, the EMA gave initial approvals to a project on the same site in 2007, Attraction. All parties are committed to preserving environmental features such as the Boko Reef and no man's land for the benefit and enjoyment of future generations and tourists alike. Would a seasoned operator sacrifice a featured attraction like the Eiffel Tower or like Niagara Falls in its haste to construct? Right? And this was put out there, setting the record straight, Sandals Tobago. And it says there are a number of untruths being circulated about the proposed hotel resort to be constructed in Tobago. Much of the conversation has been premature and it's best and malicious at its worst. So that is why I believe this. I don't believe Fali because Fali does lie dread. You could prove plenty time where you lie. So yes, it's all the cause Sandals to go for going fake because they lie. All in the teaching. Some of them the teaching. So let me continue. I see that Kato go and scratch something now, boy. So Custard goes cashless. Anyway, stay making up my numbers. I'm making up my numbers. So if I have a 40, 50, I know you helped. Yours is 50 at once. So I'm seeing here custard. But every time you feel you want to write or anything, take care and scratch something. So this again was in the... Hi, Miss Null. Hi, Judy. Miss Judy. This was yesterday in the business news. A custard. The College of Science, Technology and Applied Arts of TNT, COSTAT, it was in Newsday, will transition to a cashless institution by June the 30th. A media release sent on March the 24th described this move as a significant step in the college's ongoing efforts towards digital transformation. You hear that word again? This move is one of several innovative developments being introduced as COSTAD celebrates 25 years of service in tertiary education. It reinforces the college's commitment to modernization, students' empowerment, and future readiness, the release said. Accepted payments method will include a COSTAD e-pay platform, debit and credit cards, as well as bank transfers. To support the transaction for the month of April, COSTAD will roll out the Financial Fridays initiative in collaboration with local financial institutions. These sessions will offer on-campus assistance to help students open bank accounts and access essential financial services. It says a recent student survey shows that 88% of its students already own a bank account and 92% have access to debit or credit cards. The release says this demonstrates a high level of preparedness for the shift and concludes the cashless initiative is aligned with COSTAD's broader mission to promote financial inclusion, digital fluency, and innovative education. Could you see Kamla Prasad Bisesa leading the young people in this country to that place of digitization? So I'm seeing that the diver's wife, one of the divers who would have died tragically in the pipe in the Paria incident. And I continue to say and say again, those divers, I speaking from a labor perspective, they were not employees of Paria. The owner of LMCS who hired the divers, he was an employee of Paria because he would have gotten a contract. But his workers were his workers. And I continue to say from what we were seeing and evidence shown, his workers apparently weren't trading commercial diving. They were scuba divers. Commercial divers are trained that if they meet a P something situation, that they have the skills to... The skills of survival is much higher. Even the equipment they had on when they dive in was not scuba diving, or scuba diving is the kind of thing with the umbilical cord and all the big tank and stuff. And when you go down, somebody on top to pull it, and if anything, you pull on it and whatever. Those guys will be soldiers. They unfortunately just had a tank and they flip-flop thing on their foot, and that was it. Anywho's, Paria name has always been Colin and all that. But I remember Dr. Rowley, if I'm not mistaken, would have told all parties involved to sit down and have a conversation. But they were advised and they take it to court. You see, once you want to take things to court and you want commission inquiry and all them things, then all negotiations will be out the window because you basically say you don't want that. I am confident had all of them sat down, all parties involved sat down, something could have been worked out, and by now, some type of compensation or whatever may have been achieved. But from the time you start about the commission inquiry and you want to go to court, that has happened. It is just like I'm seeing Mr. Eversley, no disrespect him, out there with the whole Dr. Tilak Singh thing, and he bring back up Dr. Delia Gabriel and all that. Okay. But don't tie the two together, because her matter was in the industrial court where there's negotiation, conciliation, and mediation. That you could have sit with the employer and worked out, and people come out it winning, because in industrial court it's more trying to both sides win with the conciliation, mediation. If it doesn't happen, well then, whatever. But you had a bigger chance, a better chance there to lay all the labor issues and the breaches in the labor law and the victimization and everything. From the time you take that matter and you go into the high courts of Trinidad and Tobago, you're suing the state. The state ain't going to negotiate again with you. You put it in the hands of a judge. So when you do that, mediation and all them things is out the window now. Is a judge going to make a decision and one person go win, one go lose. And you know the state will come with all the evidence and everything to back to win the case. But like Mr. Eversley and Dr. Dahlia, bless her soul, bless her heart, sorry about that, bless her heart. Like they don't want to understand that. And if it is a humanitarian thing that he's doing, nothing wrong with that. But don't do it occasionally when some doctor thing you jump out and talk about. You should be always doing it and keeping people to know where she's at, what is happening with her, and all that kind of thing. But you can't, when you jump out, it look like convenience. It look like you seriously want to help her in any real way. But that's just my opinion. So I get back on track with what I was saying. So the diver wife, she has joined the UNC, or she was a UNC whoever, so she was in the meeting and thing, and she was crying. And to get people to vote, I guess she's telling people that the UNC will compensate them. Let me just read a little piece of it, and I want to tell her how she's living in Lululand. Right? So all that, to me, all that drama and dramatics, that is my opinion. So this was 19 hours ago in The Guardian. Again, it's not 19 no more. Divers widow confident Kamla will compensate families. Vanessa Kusi, widow of former LMCS diver Rishi Nagasa, believed that United National Congress political leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar will make good on her promise to compensate the families of 4 divers who died after being sucked into a pipeline while doing work on behalf of Paria Fuel Trading Company 2022. Kusi, who attended the UNC General Election campaign launched in San Fernando on Monday night, broke down in tears as Persad-Bissessar declared at Naparina College, "You do not leave 4 men in a pipe to die." And again, I am speaking from a layman perspective, but I read and I have understanding and I speak to people who are part of that whole profession, and I got some ideas and stuff. The conversation about leaving them to die in a pipe, I don't think that is fair. You can't just send down people in a situation that hasn't been accessed, because then you can have more lives getting caught up in that. What you could argue on is whether or not LMCS had a clear safety plan and if Paria had a clear health and safety plan. But to simply say they leave them to die is being very disingenuous. Because I don't know who diver ain't knowing what's happening down there, ain't have an idea what to me down there, go just jump in to go down to try to save anybody. That to me is reckless and ill-advised. Okay, so let me continue. Speaking to Guardian Media at the event, who is also the councillor for Couva West, Roy Stonia, said Persad-Bissessar, along with her councillors and MPs, had supported the family from day one of the tragic incident. 3 years later, she believes that compensation will still benefit the grieving families who continue to struggle daily. And I want to put it on record. I empathize with the families of the divers. I'm not making light of it. That is a tragic situation for anybody, and it's something I'm sure if the breadwinner is removed, that they will be having challenges, especially when the company that they're working for, LMCS, didn't have an insurance for them. I think the insurance was up or something, so just before the accident or something like that. Because if LMCS had insurance or something for them, they would have gotten that from the Workmen Compensation Act and all those things. They would have gotten something from the company. That is like working at a company that don't pay your NIS. and you slip and fall long now. And when they go on to claim NIS because of injury leave, you realize that the employer was never paying NIS. Because the first place is the employer supposed to compensate. But if you're doing them kind of high-risk job, the employer is supposed to take out some insurance or some kind of thing. But nobody ain't talking about that part. The bigger picture to them is Paria, because I think it was being said that something in Paria is Rowley's friend. And so that was more important than really telling people the truth, I guess. I don't know, I'm just saying. So as I said, that she believes that the Kamla Prasad Bissessa will pay them compensation. And I say it again, I remember when I think Dr. Aurelia told them to sit down, let's sit, all partners sit down and parties sit down and talk. And again, I say, that's mediation. And negotiation. Once you move away from that table, there is no obligation with nobody. Again, you go to court, you do commissioner inquiry and everything on standstill. So only one commissioner inquiry, you get the commissioner inquiry will come out of that. There's a whole next drama back on that. When all they could have sit down, work out something, have your lawyers on there to make sure they get the right thing, whatever. But like there was advice to take this to the next level. So now this has happened. Anyhow, the point I'm making is that she's saying that the husband didn't have to die. That is true. But were they trained to do the job that they were doing? I don't know, nobody ain't saying anything. So everybody want to show responsibility just on one party. And it can't be one party alone. The responsibility alone cannot be on Paria. It really cannot be. The employer is supposed to take some blame also. Me ain't saying that Paria don't have the part to play, but the employer also have the part to play. But why nobody not going on LMCS to get some money? I don't get it. Somebody can answer me. Anyway, so she talk, and of course it reached down to the rhetoric of Kamla. Is it that we want our country more blood and whatever, right? So I want to tell her something. She believes that Kamla Prasad Bissessa would compensate them. I want to tell her something. Between 2010 and 15, Kamla Prasad Bissessa had the highest oil prices ever, even more than Dr. Eric Williams. And by 2015, we were in a recession. They spend the money, they eat it out, they drink it out. Friend, family. I would play what it is Roger say, not me say. And by 2015, we were in a recession. And being in a recession, which she would have known because she's central bank governor, Joanna Rambaran, clearly unqualified for the job in the sense that he was not the most senior person there. Would have settled with the unions and them and signed an agreement for 14%, which she very well knew wouldn't have money to pay. So she ain't paid that neither, right? So she don't have a history of keeping her word. I think her members of parliament had also commit some part of the money to put in some fund and all that kind of thing, and the money to be used to XYZ where that has gone. The Children Life Fund, Kamla Children Life Fund, that end up in Bacchanal who take money wherever it is, and we end up sending some of the children in Colombia, substandard hospital where they died. Okay? She don't have a history of keeping she word. So I want to tell Miss Kusi to listen to this. Because like Kamla didn't even have a history of helping poor Indian people. Listen to what he had to say, and I will play what Roche say.
I'm not sure too many in the congregation would have predicted that the pundit's Sunday service on the life of Hindu saint Tulsi Das would have pivoted to this.
I want to tell all you, do not make the mistake and vote for Kamla Prasad Bissessa and she team.
The pundit poor role models.
Look at the lifestyle. Is that what you want your children to become? That's what your children to be? They have done nothing for us.
And if that wasn't enough, he claimed the current UNC leadership has failed to meaningfully stand up for Indo-Trinbagonian people, a segment of the population which he said suffers tremendously at the hands of criminals.
She don't like Hindu people. Look at the UNC never helped one Indian person to get a permanent job. Poor Indians are suffering. because of the UN, because of Kamala.
I'm a life member of the UN. But if the UNC isn't serving me or serving my community, then who am I going to turn to?
Pandit Dubey said he saw potential in the young PNM candidate back then.
He needed assistance and I was here to help him because I saw promise in him for a better Charlie Bill.
The pundit said his frankness about the UNC's conduct has won him no friends with loyalists, but he underscored he is no PNM operative.
Right? So I want Ms. Kusi to know, the pundit say, Kamala don't help no poor Indian person. She don't get a damn nothing. She hate Hindu. All right. This is what Roger said. Because the pundit says she don't get Indian people nothing. This is what Roger said she does get the money to. The same Roger.
Nation, fellow citizens, as a people, we must never accept corruption. Under the People's Partnership, it has reached the scale of billions of dollars. When we consider the multi-million-dollar contracts given out to their friends, families, and financiers, and the controversial and questionable method by which these contracts are given out, we have absolutely no choice but to conclude that this is the most corrupt government we have ever experienced. This brutal and evil practice of corruption has brought terrible pain and suffering, anguish to the majority of our citizens, while a few continue to amass obscene wealth in the hundreds of millions. Nation.
Right? That's what Roger tell us. And we saw where they go cool. She went there and lived. They get a big contract and people start to get on me, they pull it back, wherever. We see the Beaton wastewater project where it's still up on where it must have rat and snake and all kind, never finished, but money paid. We see OS, a bankrupt company from Brazil that is alleged to be involved in money laundering and all kind of fraud and all that. They put on a bond of $1 billion because they have to build the Point 14 highway. That bond is put on in the event that the highway is finished. When anything go wrong, the country will get back that money. On the eve of the election, she removed the clause so that bankrupt company could get $1 billion and ride out. And it's this government incoming, fighting the arbitration court and get it back when Munilal and them was saying they wasting money. Right? We've seen all that happen, so we know very well where the money was going. Yeah? She sister Vidwati was a nurse. I hear they say, true, she was no qualified nurse. They was living in the diplomatic center with the whole family and all kind of things. So hundreds of thousands of dollars in alcohol was in the place when they move on. So we see where the money was going, right? Then Sharon Utley, who was the Auditor General back in 2014, says that, let me show you the headline. I ain't going to bother to read it. That is it there. Billions spent without documentation, Auditor General report, May 30th, 2014. And in that report, she said that the ministries was spending money and no accounting for it, no documentation. But this Auditor General, where senior public officers, it is saying nothing but millions and billions being spent in no ministry without documentation. The AC with the $2.6 billion, senior public officers was able to see that it was an accounting error coming from the central bank and a new checking system they put, why there was an understatement of $2.6 billion to become an accounting error. She and the Auditor General office didn't pick up on that. No money in thief, nothing, but they hold on to that today. But when in 2014, the Auditor General, Sharon Utley, say billions spent in ministries without authorization, without documentation, they don't talk about them thing. All they think it's so for these people. All they know who they want. All they listen now. Yeah. All they remember this because this is important. Because right now they're playing with young people here and they're playing with some people here with lies. I see some old man come out and talking, but I said a lie. Like he's the next person. He would cross your hand, talk about the pension was 1,000, and when Kamala comes, she make it this. All them things is lies. So forget he lied. Not forget he lied. Remember he lied. But there's always talk about Rowley didn't raise pension. Dr. Rowley raised the pension by $500 when he came in. Because under Kamala, them I think it was 2005. The PNM put an next 5 and make it 3,000, but nobody don't talk about that. It's like they wanted, well, in fact, you know what? Cambridge Analytica never left, it's right here still. I want all to remember this because I want me to believe that it never happened. Yeah, it never happened. Even Gary Griffith said with the pink hair man and was kind of derogatory towards the fella. Listen to the pink hair man, and he wasn't talking in Trinidad. He was talking in front. I think that was either the the British House or whatever the hell they just call it, or in the Congress in America. Listen to him.
One of the things that I've also passed on to the committee is some of the contractual documentation and emails from some of AIQ's past projects. One of them was for the at the time the Minister of National Security of Trinidad. In the contractual documents and then also email chains, AIQ, part of the project was to go out and find a way of accessing raw internet service provider data for the entire country to monitor what people were browsing in that country. As I understand it, that's not legal in Trinidad and certainly wouldn't be legal here. But the thing that I would say is that Aggregate IQ, in part because it was set up and works within the auspices of Cambridge Analytica, inherited a lot of the company culture of total disregard for the law.
Well, you hear what he said? What they were doing here, it was not legal. He talked about the Minister of National Security. So Trinidad was the guinea pig, and what they were doing, guarding people's data from off of the internet and all them kind of thing. But they want me to believe Cambridge Analytica never happened, and the pink hair man. But he was all in front in England in the high place in the parliament. He was all in front of the American Congress talking these things. But in Trinidad, they want to tell me it never existed. Don't get up with these people. So now, they have a lot of people all of a sudden pop up on social media and TikTok. When I say young, they could be like probably early 40s, late 30s anyway there. And the conversation is the PNM wicked and bad, and they had to vote, the code is red, the code is yellow, and all them kind of things they're saying. And it's like getting these extremes in the psyche of people. So that's why I show you all the programs and all the things that the PNM has. But these people out here, and young people on TikTok, and they're listening, those who are not so informed, and listening to that. And I want to ask the media something. Why when only asking about voting, and if young people go vote, or if they go vote, why only asking African people? Why only don't go across in Central and ask Indian children if them voting? Because I will show you, they're going to tell you, yes, they're voting. Why does only go and ask African children and young people if they're voting? And again, to me, that is a kind of subliminal message you're sending, because a young person watching a young person, nice, pretty and thing, and hear them saying, we're not voting, it don't make no sense. It might make them say, well, if that person who's so educated and looking so nice and voting, why go and vote for? You see how they're playing on people? Why they don't go in the Indian community and ask the young people? Because when the Indian young people say they're voting, that might tell African children, but let them vote and we voting too. But no, everything they ask is negative about PNM, they just ask African people alone. And the African people will be so willing to drag. But you never hear Indian people drag the UNC in public like how them just drag PNM. I don't know if they feel when they do that, people go say, yes, all they fear, boy. I like all they let's do it, all they don't hold, all they don't hold back, all that's all the truth. UNC people don't do them thing. Or they drag Dr. Raleigh to black it to ugly, this, that, and all kind of thing. Or they own. So what a little child who growing up here and all they talking about Dr. Raleigh, so and that little child black like Dr. Raleigh's skin color. What a child supposed to think about themselves? Or they have no hair on the head like Dr. Raleigh. What they supposed to think about themselves? Instead of they look and focus on the fact he's a doctor. All the degrees he have and specialize in this and that and all the awards he win and what he do. And no, he black and he ugly. So all they telling all the little children or African children that they can't be in office because they're black and they're ugly. Or they don't think about that one or they doing them kind of things. Or they never think about them kind of thing. That the negative stigma they putting on all they want children whose skin might be dark like Dr. Raleigh or dark like mine. Sending the message, you're too black and you're ugly. All them overs is that all they be doing. You know, say the Indian people come out and say them thing about Kamala Prasad Bisasa, but she ugly. They'll be, oh, mother queen, mother. The only thing I don't see them doing is prostrating themselves at she foot. But all that drag, all the African people that drag all the African people not understanding the impact it have on the young people. And all your own children. Because they never have nothing good to say about African people. And when all the children turn out to be all kind of this and all kind of that, think back to what all they was putting in the head. They're black, they're ugly, they head picky, they can't learn, they don't see, they're stupid. All they know is always part of the problem with the young people. Instead of telling them black is beautiful, the melanin in your skin, you're special, that you're bright, you're intelligent, nobody better than you, you ain't better than nobody, all equal, all ain't talking anything with people, but I digress. Check all yourself, African people, some are all here. And you see some of we who like color, the Africans who like color, or they're not better than dark skin African. Or them better. And that don't make all you that the white man go like all you. That's a fallacy. Love your blasted self for years. And stop looking down at other people. And in the Indian community, the same damn thing. Or let us look down at the dark Indians, some of them, and treat them very bad. Look how they treat Senator Rohan Singh, call it Rawan and all kind of thing. All they check all themselves. Because all they go around white people, they consider all they black. Don't care how light your skin is. You're Indian, they consider all they black. Or they're not in the same league with them. So let me continue. So this conversation to me that they only asking African children or they voting, no, we never vote ever. To me that is a form of voter suppression. Don't fall for that. When all they fall for them stupidness come up and get into office there, we go really eat grass. You see, the only thing that they be talking is what they know. If them in office, we go after the African people, we go really make mud pie. We go really ain't go hard work. Because when they came in, they fire people. All what they think is African, until they say PNM, they fire all of them. All they think about this is a serious thing, you know. This is not racism I'm talking, you know. This is real talk, you know. And again, I will never say all Indian or all African. I can't say all, because all people don't do wrong thing. But it has some. It has some. And all they know that as a fact. I continue to say, we have to build this country together in all races, you know. And because I love myself, I'm comfortable in my skin and who I am, me don't have to dress up and make up and all them kind of thing to fit in no way. Our old jeans rip up, my jersey and I fit in anyway. Comfortable. Who have problem with that? Like them problem. Because I know my worth and I know my ability. I know my capability. And nobody making me feel less than nobody because me dress up and because I have a dread and because I just talk loud. Nobody, darling, because I could fit in anyway. anytime, anyhow I choose to. So you see the confidence I have about myself and the self-esteem I have. You see all the haters out there who want to make me feel how. Well, they check all themselves. It ain't no work. It ain't gonna work. Anyways. So this is Gypsy. And this is what Gypsy would have said after having foisted Kamla Prasad Bisesa on us. And again, listen to what people are saying, because when they tell you the things and you don't take and heed warning, and when things happen, you go ball as shoulda, coulda, woulda. Plenty people sitting down in jail and in problems now because they coulda, shoulda, woulda. They let the anger get away with them, and they get rash and they do all kind of thing. Or they say all kind of thing, whatever. And when the anger leave, because like they don't understand, anger is an emotion, and you can't be angry all the time. Anger does pass. And when the anger pass, you dare not to think logically and say you shoulda, coulda, and you woulda. Don't make on the 28th of April, when the votes are counted, that you say you shoulda, you coulda, and you woulda. Okay? So this is what Gypsy would have said, Winston Peters. I hope it plays.
Take Kamla Prasad out of power. My brothers and sisters, not too often I ask God to forgive me for things that I do or things that I say. But today, I want to ask God His forgiveness for foisting upon the people of Trinidad and Tobago a woman called Kamla Prasad Bisesa. And I also ask your forgiveness.
Yeah? That is Winston Gypsy Peters asking God for forgiveness for hoisting Kamla Prasad Bisesa on we, because he was a part of the Ramjack G. Yes, I'm not mistaken. Them was the queen makers. Them make she was nothing. Kamla Prasad Bisesa was a failure as the AG. She was a failure as the Minister of Education. She is a failure as opposition leader, and she is a failure as Prime Minister. I don't know what she has ever succeeded in. I don't even think she ever win any case, nowhere, nothing. Total failure, and they hoist she on me. And got to come to ask for forgiveness now. Listen to Gary Griffith. Give me a minute.
If you record the hard just the ultimate. Imagine you ask a question to the Prime Minister, how often have you been in your office on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for 5 years? Not one day. Not one day. So imagine you are Prime Minister running a country, and your week is from Friday to Wednesday for 5 years. So not one day has she spent a day on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday in the office. She comes up to Port of State Wednesday night, goes in cabinet, goes in parliament, stays in her office. She then goes inside parliament, she spends about 10 minutes to talk about vote, and then goes back out. Her weekends from Friday night to Wednesday night. Monday, and the thing is, you record it. But when you tell a country that you want to come for another 5 years and you want to have a 5-day weekend, they will get us. So we have enough, you and I have enough amount to let you know you can't play hard, but it's the same you can run with percussion play.
The only thing that we have there that we discovered in the house. Yeah. Which we have not been in public yet.
And it has a lot to do with work ethic. The bags you're seeing under my eyes is because since this coalition has started, the political leader of the UNC, Kamla Prasad Bisesa, she starts work at 4 a.m. So at 4 a.m. she will be calling me and work starts. We don't stop. I have worked with 4 prime ministers as the right hand: Patrick Manning, Mazio Pandey, Keith Rowley, and Kamala Prasad-Bissessar. And she is indeed one of the hardest working prime minister alive.
Take Kamala.
And Gary Griffith and them does won't we take them serious. He was in a conversation with Jack Warner saying that she have a 5-day weekend, and if she feels she could play hardball, because there ain't no prakash and thing. Imagine if she should just go down on a Tuesday or something so you come back till the next Wednesday. But when you join her, she's just in the local government election, your ball she's the hardest working one. And all the credibility is everything. You see, Gypsy stay full. Gypsy say, well, you say, wherever it is and that is it. He cut ties. That was it. Jack Warner say all kind of thing about that woman, all kind of nasty thing about that woman. And he going right back there. Credibility. Gary Griffith have your own party now and trying to sanitize himself, in my opinion. But look at the things he was saying. Just 2023. Local government election. Or 24, 23 or 24. I feel it's 23. He said she's the hardest working, and prior to that, when he was with them, he said she had a 5-day weekend. She don't come down and do work. Basically saying she lazy, she clueless, she knows nothing. And now you have your party, you want people to believe you. And why doesn't me telling the truth? So let me continue. As I say, Kamala had she Monday night, whatever, to present she candidate on them. And because she don't care about them, because she knows she have the vote, she don't have to present nothing to them. Did their nomination, people just turn up and they just think and they cool with that, they will vote. She has no respect for this pussy woman who's saying that Kamala will take money. Kamala ain't going to pay you and give you nothing. Kamala don't care about all you. Kamala will use all you just how she does use African people. She will use you, Miss Kusi, if that's your name. I don't know how to feel Kamala care about all you. You hear Roger says contract of friend and family and finance and nothing to do with the poor Indian people. She didn't even want them get education. So, while Kamala Prasad-Bissessar is playing games because she had made her life saying since when she ready since last year, the screening candidate, but today you can't screen. Is it because you're afraid that people will see that you ain't putting up Anita, that you ain't putting up Parry, and you're putting back Barry and this one and that one, and you're frightened, so you're waiting the last day. So when nomination, nobody can say nothing. I'm just asking a question. So while all that crap going on, PNM has had a 41, they launched it. They went and do the mock run for nomination to make sure they have all the documents in order. So when they go on the 4th of April, everything will run smoothly. Kamala in business about them things, she just don't care. Right? So Minister Stuart Young, he would have, give me a minute. All right, before I read that, he said that, you ready? PM Stuart Young said that, we ready? This was in Trinidad Express 13 hours ago. Of course, it's not 13 now. Prime Minister Stuart Young is confident about the People's National Movement readiness for the upcoming general elections. His statement follows, where the whole thing going? His statement followed. There's something that has just come up and just block everything. His statement followed a meeting with a returning officer to review his nomination document at Belmont Secondary School yesterday. It was part of a broader preparation exercise for nomination day, April the 4th. So I'm going to show you all it. Speaking with reporters afterwards, Minister Young reiterated the PNM's commitment to organization and efficiency, saying that all 41 candidates had met the night before to ensure they understood the nomination process. Right? So let me show you what that looked like, because He's a member of Parliament of Port of Spain North Sentence West. So, of course, person would have gone, and he's Prime Minister, so he would have had that support when he went into this mock nomination process, and this is what it looked like. So when he went in, came back out, they interviewed him, and that's part of the interview, right? Coming out of that, yesterday the constituency, well, at the campaign office of the Prime Minister, persons showed up in their numbers to work voluntarily for the constituency, to go about campaigning, to encourage persons to vote, and also to work on election day. And this is what it looked like. Good evening, people. This is Egil Jensen coming from the constituency of Port of Spain North Sentence West, the home of Prime Minister Stuart Young. This is the activity down here where soldiers have come out, the PNM soldiers, the Stuart Young armies out here, signing up to be foot soldiers for election day. The place is crowded, it is packed, it is a buzz with excitement. There's a generation, generating an energy in the place. People ready to work, they're willing to work, they come out to work. This is Stuart Young Army, Prime Minister Stuart Young Army. We're not making no joke. The out here, the young come out, the PNM soldiers, the Stuart Young armies out here, signing up to be foot soldiers for election day. Philip Alexander Capley running up inside here. And who's the next one? Miss Mike the Big Toe. We're not on that. We're out here to volunteer. We're out here to make sure that Prime Minister Stuart Young remains in office. The PNM remains in office. And all the soldiers of Port of Spain North Sentence West are out here to sign up and work, to go out to meet the people, to encourage the people to come out to vote. They are out here, the place is packed. Young people, not so young people, younger people, they're out here to work, volunteer in the services to make sure that we bring this constituency home. We're not making no joke. This here is phenomenal. People like that, they sign up on their phone. So I just wanted to bring this for you all to see. This is what happened. The Prime Minister Stuart Young constituency. Not making no joke. Young armies out here. Let me see the back of your jersey. Young army, you see? Young army. Not making no joke. Let me see the back of your jersey, mommy. Let me see the back. Right, the right choice. Not making no joke. April the 28th. Come out. Come out. Be ready, you know. Be ready. Port of Spain North Sentence West, be ready. In the house, be ready. Be ready. Be volunteering the service. Volunteering. Everybody is out here. So I just wanted to bring this to you all. So I hope you'll enjoy the excitement and the buzz that's happening. Again, this is the campaign hub. People are out here in the numbers to volunteer, to work for the campaign, to work on election day, to bring home this Prime Minister Stuart. So I'm signing out this legal Jen from the constituency for the Swing North St. Francis. I'm out. Right, that's just some action down there. I went down, the place was packed. I started making the tape when people had like got up and stuff. I didn't want to do it while they were having the meetings and stuff. So I'm just showing you the energy and the excitement. Yeah, down there, you know what it is, because I understand how important this election is, you know. It's for the grandchildren, you know, it's for the great grandchildren, you know. It's for the future, you know, and we want somebody who could relate to the young people and could relate internationally to leaders and who people would understand and respect and all that. That's what we want. Look, Minister, I'm just going to show you all just a little thing about Minister Stuart Young, why I continue to say, and why we continue to say, that he's the person for the job now. This is a new era. This is a new time in our development. Dr. Rowley would have paved the way. He would have steadied the ship. He would have taken the brunt of it. He would have made sure that we went through COVID-19. The last time we had a pandemic like that was 100 years prior. This was something new. The whole world didn't know what to do. The whole was grappling with it, and the back virus keep mutating and mutating, and this country, this little Trinidad and Tobago, was recognized internationally. Dr. Rowley was recognized internationally, our medical healthcare professional, our CMO, Dr. Parasram, Minister of Health, all the nursing personnel, all the supporting staff, doctors, everybody took part in this initiative to help keep us safe. Dr. Rowley said when he was talking internationally, they asked him, so where you get these medical professionals to work and thing, and he said, in Trinidad, because we had a two-tier system, we're the only country in the world had a two-tier system, meaning that the normal health system was running and everything, but there was another system that treated with only COVID-19. And they were asking him, so where you get all them specialists and all them doctors? And he said, from right here. They say, well, how you mean from right here? Because they thought it was international specialists came in. We had our Dr. Trotman. I can't even pronounce the word what she does do. She out there in Cora. She does look at infection and the diseases and how it morph and this and that. And we had a whole team with she there in different areas and bacteria, this and that. Oh God, watch me. Right here in Trinidad, and had we not had COVID-19, we would have never known that these specialists in Trinidad and Tobago existed, who are there doing the work to make sure we're safe. That any epidemic and anything that we say that they're on top of the medical thing to treat with those things right here. So we did that. We are not joking, this country is not joking, but people, again, we are people, we don't show off and things going. We just do we thing, keep we head on and do what we have to do. So Minister Stuart Young would have just a minute. Let me get this one. He was a keynote speaker. And when he's a keynote speaker, is you, excuse me, is you people coming to see. And here where he gave that keynote. Said the Honorable Stuart R. Young, MP, Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, delivered a keynote address at the International Energy Summit of the Association of International Energy Negotiators under the theme Pursuit of Energy Security and Sustainability, a Caribbean Perspective, on June the 1st, 2023 in Miami, Florida. And he started off saying, thank you for the invitation to participate at this International Energy Summit of the Association of International Energy Negotiators. I appreciate the opportunity to address this esteemed gathering of some of the best international negotiators who have shaped and are continuing to shape the global energy sector as well as navigate the rapidly evolving landscape. I stand here as a proud representative of the people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and of the government of my country. So let me read this part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what he said again. I am an advocate attorney by profession, an utter barrister, called to the Bar of England and Wales in 1997 as a member of the Honourable Society of Gray's Inn. I am also called to the Bar of Trinidad and Tobago, the Commonwealth of Dominica and Antigua and Barbuda. I was a self-employed advocate attorney, a litigator specializing in complex commercial litigation, public and constitutional law, and other areas up until September 2025, when I was elected to the House of Representatives of the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. I have served in a number of different cabinet portfolios since September 2015, including as the Minister of Communication, Minister of National Security, Minister in the Office of the Attorney General, and now as the Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister. Due to the priority and importance of our hydrocarbon resources and energy sector to our economy and country, the Prime Minister since 2015, Dr. the Honorable Keith Rowley, a geologist, a volcanologist with a doctorate in geochemistry, has been keenly and actively overseeing our energy sector from the Office of the Prime Minister. I have been participating in and leading active negotiations on behalf of the government in the sector as Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister since the late 2015, and from 2021 as the substantive Minister of Energy to date. It has been a very significant period for us as we have had to deal with unprecedented situations, and claims associated with, inter alia, declining hydrocarbon production and expiring gas supply contracts after decades of growth. These unique circumstances, coupled with the changes associated with the energy transition, have presented us with many challenges, all of which have required negotiations aimed at ensuring the continued revenue stability of Trinidad and Tobago hydrocarbon economy. It is important that I read this for you all to understand the type of experience, that Minister Stuart Young has. And you see the part about the negotiations. Let me think it again because people feel this is a joke. This ain't no joke. Dr. Rowley and Minister Stuart Young at his side, when they came in 2015 and faced with a 14% increase in salaries, Joala Rambaran told them they don't have no money in the treasury, only 3 days worth. And people doesn't misunderstand what it means. 3 days worth of liquid cash. That's all it had in the treasury. Joala Rambaran told them that. They went to First Citizen Bank because they have money there. The UNC done that. They went here, they went there because remember the UNC brought the exchequer account in $33 billion overdraft. Everywhere they went to get money so they could run this country, pay public officers, pay salaries, they come up with blank. UNC spend all that. When they went to the oil companies now, where are the corporate taxes? I'm paying it my way. Where are the corporate taxes? They say, wait now, I didn't get any memo. Them tell me we don't have to pay nothing now till 2024. We could drill, baby, drill. We don't have to pay nothing. When Dr. Rowley heard that, again, I put in it my way, but the facts is there. But, Jen has put it. They didn't go to BP Trinidad to talk to no CEO here or in Barbados or whatever. They fly straight out here, Minister Stuart Young, to Hague, Texas. All with the oil giants, them set of white men, and went in there and sat down and renegotiated those contracts. In 2019, we would have got nothing but $6 billion back. renegotiated. You think it's easy to sit down in them boardroom up in Hague and Texas and all them things. We little from down in the Caribbean and able to renegotiate deal with them. They're so good at what they were doing. Minister Young was so good at what he doing. He on first name basis with them. And they was offering him work to come to work for them because they're impressed with his negotiation skills. Those things are facts. So, Minister Stuart Young ain't no joke. Them union and them, because he used to practice labor law too. Many times he had to run and go industrial court to help them with the cases. Roger, when he nearly lost his work in Trinidad because of the accident that happened where some man nearly lose some part of his limb, and he was the senior officer, this is what Kamala said. And he paid the man to say it didn't happen so. And they say union official was trying to pay people and coerce people to say it didn't happen so and all them kind of thing. Kamala and them say that, I will pull it up and show you. It's a story called Kamala Seal Roger Thunder. And he nearly lost his work in Trinidad. In fact, he did lost his work, I think, whatever, something so. It's Minister Stuart Young who they call and deal with the matter. Even the one who want to go up against him or pay the Philip Alexander, he could say whether it's true or not. So I'm going to ask him, is it true it's the same Stuart Young who is Prime Minister now, who does want to cuss and recall all kind of thing, when he had your troubles with maintenance or some child thing, is the Prime Minister, Minister Stuart Young, Prime Minister now, who had to come and deal with your legal matters? I just asking a question. So, this is what Mr. Glenn Lal of Kaito News in Guyana had to say. I will tell you, this is not a joke. This is serious thing. Listen to Mr. Glenn Lal.
So tonight I want to take a moment to reintroduce Prime Minister recently. While contracts bind us to terms and conditions,
let me start over this thing.
When circumstance, Minister recently said, while contracts bind us to terms and conditions, when circumstances change, contracts must change. None is cast in stone. Listen to him.
That there's a willingness not to treat contracts as cast in stone. But while contracts bind us to terms and conditions, if the conditions have changed so dramatically and so detrimentally, then the reopening and renegotiation of contracts is a reasonable demand of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And we anticipate that our partners in this business will see our claim as a fair and just one. And we anticipate that there will be some reopening of contracts so that at the end of the day, we can all sustainably benefit from the God-given riches of Trinidad and Tobago.
If the conditions change so dramatically and so detrimentally, then the reopening and renegotiation of contracts is a reasonable demand of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And he anticipates that the partners in this business will see Trinidad's claim as a fair and just one. So at the end of the day, they can all sustainably benefit from the God-given riches of Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad, who got little or nothing left in the oil and gas industry, is currently receiving 67% total take, and they demanded the reopening and renegotiating of contracts. 3 weeks later, Trinidad and Tobago was able to smile because he got more for his people. Guyana, getting 14.5% after 75% cost oil. The worst oil deal or not, and our leaders, all of them, government and opposition, is talking about how Exxon contract bind us, that they can do nothing. Matter of fact, when you talk about renegotiation of that contract, it's like you're interfering with your most prized asset. The 2% contract was signed when there was only 3 billion barrels. Today, not only circumstances change, but the barrels change to 11 billion barrels, which I believe, yes, is more than 100 billion. Neither the PNC, the AFC, or the PPP is talking about reopening or renegotiation of contracts. Guyana, Exxon contract must be set in a stone we never hear or know about. Have a nice day.
Right? Why I play that is to show you all the respect that people have for Dr. Rowley. That is Mr. Glenn Lal. He is from Crichton News. He has a newspaper. He has a blog also. And he is forever speaking on behalf of the fact that Guyana has so much oil, and in a contract with ExxonMobil from since 1990s, one or somewhere there, when Exxon didn't find no gas, whatever contract they signed, Guyana signed with them then, to this day, they're still on them contract, although Guyana ExxonMobil making billions of dollars in profit, and Guyana not really seeing that kind of money. And he made a reference to the fact that Dr. Rowley would have stood up, I think it was at the Energy Forum in Guyana, and spoken about the fact that, and that the contracts I talking about, why now tell Rowley about, with the oil company, and then when Dr. Rowley and them went looking for the money, so they could pay the 40% and other things. The oil company and them tell them, we don't have to pay nothing, contract sign, we have to do nothing until 2024. Those are the contracts that Dr. Rowley was standing up there talking about. Contracts not making stone, it could be renegotiated. Who renegotiated them contracts and them? Dr. Rowley with Minister Stuart Young at the side. Minister Stuart Young was a negotiator. Dr. Rowley was the expert because he's a volcanologist and had geochemistry and all them kind of things. What we want this wrong, think about it. You want a Kamala Prasad successor in these times to be negotiating anything with Secretary of State Marco Rubio or any oil company in this world? You could see Kevin Ramarine doing it, you could see Barry Parada doing it, you could see David Lee doing it, a man who before the court on bail. You could see anybody on the UNC bench standing up now to go and negotiate anything on we behalf. Them go fall, because right now they want me to fall and kiss President Trump foot. Everything for them is called sanction, and when the country go suffer, bow to the white man, call sanction, and we call sanction. If all they do this, they say, oh God, look, we have to get visa not to go. Oh God, all them bow to the white man. Oh God, all this stuff. No, you can't do, you have to do what they tell we. Oh God, we got lost with visa to go thing too. That's them attitude. Is that all they want in office? Weak. That weakness. Kamala Prasad successor is a shell. It is alleged she to detox or we call the thing when it rehab or some kind of things is alleged. That ain't go help. I sure if you stand next to she and you crack a rum bottle, that might be it. I'm not saying that will happen, eh? I'm just talking. You know, I didn't say she got and whatever the thing. But minister. So if the people walk away with a bad impression, it's from all the leaders get it. Change all the ways. You know, let's do things. We're not about the jerseys. Jesus Christ, Lord have mercy. It's like the money coming out of their pocket. Remember, always the face of the minister trust all you. In whatever constituency, trust all you. To be standing there when them can't be there. And if all the treat people a particular way, the minister will get the blame. And that will cause a whole repercussion thing. So I started. All who on the fence and why voting for that, okay? Yes. When you take part in the process, you could stand up and say, I took part in the process and I want this. Form your group. Lobby. Don't just sit down and vote and ain't get nothing. There's a plumber. You're good, you have a certification. Find other plumbers in the area. Form a company. It ain't hard to do. Put out your call cards, wherever, see whatever little grant thing and whatever the case may. Start something. You could comb a child here. Start to comb the train here in the community. Charge your money. Sunday you have some here to comb. When you get too much, you have an extra thing and go buy Pennywise. Buy the little products and start to wash the hair too and thing. Next thing you end up, you want a little space. Because you outgrow which part is. You go and get a little grant and thing, the small business, all that. You rent a little thing or you build a little something and you go on from there. Them thing real. But I want to start big. Start small. Chip. Don't study what other people making it. You do your thing. And if it's not how proud you just feel to know you do an honest day's work and you get the money. Watch me now. That money like it does last forever. You just feel good. You know, you're saving a little $20. Them thing does add up, you know. You're saving a little $20. You're saving a $10. When you count for the month, you see a $300. You feel so good, you save that. You say, right. You're going to put it in the bank or the credit union. Next month you think. And then when you go and you check the credit union, they tell you, well, they could get shares from that. And they could get it. Them thing does make you feel good because you know you work for your money. Get off the blasted fence and go and vote. Vote for the People's National Movement to have a chance. And all them PNM ain't going and vote because I don't like who they put in my area. It's not about the person that put in the area. It's about the bigger picture. When the PM get in office, put pressure on the member of parliament to do the blasted work. But don't spite the rest of the citizens in this country want good governance. And I ain't voting. Because that's what you're doing. You're holding with a ransom because you will like the minister. When the PM get in office, put the pressure on the member of parliament to do the blasted work if they're not doing it. But don't take the easy way out and I ain't voting. Or I'm going to vote for Kamala, yes? I give you a chance to do what? But then hear what? Why you want to give Minister Stewart a chance? All they give the UNC a chance. Like it was a raffle. All they get a chance because 99 parties they join with them a chance and they fall apart. All of them fall apart. You think any difference now? This dirty, stinking one, Roche. I have to call them dirty and stink. Them drag down the union movement by. Yes, so we looking at the deeds. I told them this year the Jubilee, all of them go start to look so. People tears and mouth on them. You see that one in PSA? You see that one in PSA? What Duke and Leroy Batiste miss, everything go drop on she because she's like abler. Look at the union movement today. The union movement is like a waste of time. Nobody have business with the union movement. Nobody care about it, no respect. When you want people like Roja and them, you could respect union movement. When you watch Felicia Thomas, when you watch Watson Duke, who dragged PSA down. When you look at Leroy Batiste, you could want to be a part as a young people in the union? So them joining with Kamala could do what? To do what? And the next one going on, making a mockery of everything. If you want to seriously serve people, it's a mockery. Some man driving around in a car and writing on a paper and things and handing out to people. That are Jersey. I don't know if it's part of she team or somebody just punking people or whatever. But the point I'm making, she walking and shouting again, who the ass going to vote for Kezell Jackson? Let me be real. Yes, an intelligent woman, a bright woman, a beautiful woman. How do you ask you guys yourself tap with Watson joke and end up in that foolishness? Watson joke is a dance. An educated like woman like you travel the world all the time, you get caught up a joke. Eh? That was the first red flag. When then you're on a mountain thinging, when then a snake thing, so and then now you want to go for election and have another individual with you there. Oh, they're not serious. Because when they go and look at your content and the thing you're doing, it wasn't serious about Bacchanal Kuchu, and that was okay. Because that's good for the social media. All them kind of thing and people love on, right? Excitement, thing. But when you come, you want to your dress was in it, and you want to transit, you want to go to represent people up in Brand Manning and them constituency, up in San Fernando East, it is or West, which one? You seriously feel people in that constituency will take you serious? What are doing people them thing for? They're playing with people's mind, boy. Or they're playing with people's mind. What are doing people them thing for? For power? For position? For money, boy? And all this only want to help people? It's always so fooling people. Because people over there, after you carry them for a ride, they're not real. Or let's leave people disillusioned. Or let's leave people feeling disenfranchised. Why? Anybody go see all the 4 of them or 5 of them seriously come out in the thousands of votes for them to do what? Where could Kezell Jackson and Miss Akila or whatever she named it, where they could go? Me and Bashir never like talking real talk. What only could represent people? You could see them stand up in parliament to debate on any bill or anything. You could see that. Talking to people, they could see them thing by. What are they doing people them thing for? Or they could really see camera person be such a scandal with any strength for the next 5 years to do anything in this country, boy. She had a beautiful opportunity in 2010. I didn't vote for she. Plenty only vote for she. And all the party, she called them pop-up, now all of them come together. It was a nice thing, this coalition, people thing. Dukaran was there, this one, they say, right, Karin Sipasad, you had MSJ, you had Abdullah. And yeah, people say, but I was watching this scene, I know that ain't lasting. I know that was not going to last because I see the players, I know them on games, they're not going to last. Because instead of dropping out when they see the corruption, they should have stay blast, stay there and fight. Don't drop out and tell me, you tell she about corruption, she says she don't do nothing and you pull aside. Next one, I've never seen so much different in my life. And what? What come out of that? Roger, the friends and family contract, and I'll never see so much corruption. And what? And what? And what? So I don't see this whether coalition, wherever they have now, me and see no last neither. No, it ain't going nowhere. And as for falling Tobago, if Tobago don't want to bounce the head with that rhetoric giving them again, but this is the last chance for autonomy. They had opportunity. Last minute, you send a WhatsApp message to Dr. Rowley on the phone, and the whole blasted debate, that was going to debate thing. Dr. Rowley and the Peter PNM get all the closer to getting autonomy than anybody else. And only let that go away. So what shit you telling Tobago now? This is the last chance to get autonomy. So to vote for all it. Really? What do you do for Tobagonians? I hear Tobagonians, but it's just that they're not like Trinidadians that's complain. I hear Tobago in a mess. It's in a mess. They say this fella, he put up there some Joel Samson boy or something. It is alleged. I don't know the people because I don't know much about Tobago in that kind of way. They say he kind of semi-literate. Are they real? Finally, all this are fooling people about it. Have a price to people and then there's a practicing Seventh-day Adventist. What the leaders in the Adventist church? All they're supposed to be the elders. The Seventh-day Adventist church is a vibrant orderly, disciplined organization. That's what they're standing for. One of their own who just keep Sunday school or something so, and Sabbath and all kind of thing. Lying to people. The only person I see stand up and talk thing is Pastor Frank, I think that is his name. More should come out and talk. Why are they fooling people so? I have people who genuinely feel all they can help them. And all they fooling these people, boy. People tears go fall and all their mother never tell all of them thing. Don't do people think that when they cry, the tears fall, the tears don't fall on the ground, because when they're crying, and they're crying as your name that they'll be calling, you know. When the most I see, the hurt them unjustly. And they say, Father, excuse me, look what so and so do thing and unjustly and thing. Only like to play. That when they see some of them dragging in the road, and they all out in the road, and somebody say, oh, here comes some people say, you know, wickedness he do people. Them thing real, you know. You're going to church and reading the Bible fairly, so you're supposed to know them thing called as the greatest Bible readers. And all those people like you follow those do the most wicked thing to people. But you have a price to pay for that spiritually. Or they go ahead and keep playing with people's emotion. So people, April the 28th, or whatever decision to make. And on the 29th, we go see all who saying coulda, shoulda, woulda. You see what America happening in America now? Kamala Harris, everything. That will tell all the crowds don't win no election. Come out in your numbers as never before. Vote with bad mind if you want to, and vote for the People's National Movement. Crowds don't win no election. It looks nice. What I show that all the volunteers come out and think that look good. That had to translate into convincing the people who are not convinced to vote for the People's National Movement. So that's work you have to do. All them meeting, they're going out to the Jersey and thing, and that is nice. The togetherness, the love. But you have to convince people to vote. You have to make sure they come out on the 20th to vote. All them who just go and pick up people, no, all way they have to pick up people. Encourage them to come out. Don't let them tell them go later. No, come and go now. The maxi, they waiting for you now. Yeah, go get a stand with something. Miss Melba, come, let me go now. We go bring you back home. We go cook when you come back home. Because from the time you tell them, okay, we go come back, them just want to go again. They get caught up in the cooking, the this, the that, and the thing, and all kinds of things. So, God, me I feel to go nowhere again. And early morning, get them out. People don't know what time it is. This is real talking. This is no stupid talking. This is deciding where this country going to go. Whether they wanted to go into nothingness. Because we come down for service and we go into nothingness. Because them don't have the ability, the skill, the will, the patriotism. Nothing. She said it's party before country. So it's anything to appease, she party. Nothing to do with country. While PNM saying it's country and the people. What I want somebody who's saying it's the political party first and the financiers first, the friends and family first, and all the business. You hear the pundit say she ain't get no poor Indian no work. She never do nothing for poor Indian people. You hear Roger say she give contract to she friends and she family and them finances, and then that was them saying it. That what they want to come back in office. While the PNM saying we love you, they want to make it and ridicule it. Of course the PNM love you. Where you think we have what we have now, the PNM then love. And love all are we. Free education. We didn't have that before in this country. Free healthcare. They're building houses for you now. You have a piece of land. You're building a little house at Fort Napart, whatever. They come in and a little starter house you get in. They're regularizing people who squatting and all that. But you have to do work too. You can't go and squat today and want to get the land tomorrow. You can't go and build on the river and know that the river has flood and then you flood down when you get the money event. When last all here, the sheep and farm man We name Sharice or Sharaz Khan or something, who does Pauli Green, always making and getting on the pen, Sharaz or something. Saying, well, that's all I hear he talking. You know why? Farmers getting good grants from this government. They ain't saying a word. They're getting good money from this government. Well, that's all I hear he. Well, that's all I see that man in any match. Fragile something in them sheep and goat man. Well, that's all I see in any match. Things nice. All they get tired. All they get tired. They just get the thing easy and go say a word. He won't come out and all the grants they get. Well, I say not he personally, but farmers and things, all the grants they get for flood and this and that and that, they ain't gonna come out and talk that. But let the place flood and the thing wherever it is, and they ain't get nothing. So as I'm saying again, people, April the 28th is D-Day. It will determine how we will be April the 29th going forward. Let me see all who here. Helen, Joel, Nicola, Michelle, Michael, Rudolph, Gavin, Dexter, Tessa, Laura, Donna, Angela, Roxanne, Joy, Annette, Diane, Jenny, Ricardo, Hollister, Jonathan, Merle, Herbert, Melka, Veronica, Godfrey, Cheryl, Lenore, Herman, Julia, Shirley, Brian, Lorna, Clint, Patsy, Sharon, Margaret, Angela, Theophilus, Carmel, Suwan, Cecilia, Monica, Paula, Hazel, Rosie, Beverly, Tracy, Nadara, Carolyn, Anton, Lorna, Charles, Noel family from Pune, Sarah, Ingrid, and Mona, and Lystra. The choices are the owner. You could sit on home, vex with the PNM, me ain't going to vote for nobody, all of them is the same and all that, and don't take part. And then on the 29th or the 30th, that going forward, you're complaining about everything. You'll have to hush your ass if you didn't take part. So come off your fence, get over your emotions, and see what is best for your children, your grandchildren, and your generation to come. Not just for you alone. And all who was getting from the PNM, and they ain't getting now, and they want to talk, check all yourself. All it was never real and never genuine when only talking to people. Because when only they eating nice, PNM was the best. That's all they ain't get something. PNM is the worst, and they go talk and say and talk. People, see you all. I feel to play no music today, Miss Patsy. I will Friday go stay, right? I just wanted to deal with this because it's very, very serious. It's a very, very serious situation that we're in, and we all need to think carefully. And it can't be the normal votes going out to vote. We have to win by the popular vote. We can't get on 21 seats again, and it has to be all 25 seats. Even if in the constituencies that are traditionally UNC. Don't sit back home and say, UNC go win already, we're going for no. Go out in your numbers and vote for the candidate in that area. It don't matter if it's a UNC stronghold. That's not the problem. Go out and vote still. Go out in your numbers. Go out in a vengeance and vote for the PNM candidate in the UNC stronghold. Because you think the UNC telling the Indian supporters to go out in the PNM stronghold and vote? They're going out because they want to call and talk, say after, but the popular vote. All they know about that. They know they're going to lose in Pune. They know they're going to lose in Dong Labre. They know they're going to lose in them, but they're going out and vote still. Because at the end they want to boast and say they get popular vote. So they want PNM get popular vote. Go out in the Shogunas thing where you know, and this one, go out. Let everybody go. You're not wasting your vote. I'm not wasting. That's contributing to the popular vote. People, I love all you. I love all you, and I can just talk as one person. What going on? And that the person I'm talking about, Ms. Rhoda Barrett. based on what people saying, is something she was working on them and she ain't working now and she go talk it all now. And I listen to me, you see all that? I find that's a level of selfishness. Yeah, you see, whoever want to talk it out with whoever. All the time they talk in a particular way and thing and have all the viewers and thing, and just so you turn on people because things suit you or some kind of tripping. I don't know what it is. But you see them kind of thing? That could never be real, boy. How you want people to watch you after? People go out and vote. I the most I could tell you, I could talk from today to tomorrow, wherever it is up to what at the end of the day. But sit down and think about it. This is true. This is not no Jenny like the PNM and she like Minister Siochong, like she member Parliament. It gone beyond that. Because me liking Minister Siochong, who's the Prime Minister, now can't make he win no vote. Can't make he win no seat. I have one vote. Right? So let me go out and do my duty. Let me go out and get it right. So we're looking for the popular vote also. So everybody go out. Everybody. Don't matter if it's a strong UNC seat or not, go out and vote for PNM. I know I tell you all, you know. People I love all you. See you all on Friday. God's spare. Be safe. Bye.
So you all have noticed that we put some other elements in it. So please put your hands together for DJ Rokas in the back over there. Making some things happen in the back over there. It's a special night. My father is in the audience. Yeah. Father is in the audience. I saw him just now. Abu, I love you. Well, then you've got to see for yourself now. See for yourself now. Wow. See for yourself. If you want to learn how to, I said learn. Wings don't get strong. No. Until they're tested. And you still don't know. You don't know what your best is. You can't touch your dream.